Good morning. It's Britain's Newsroom with Andrew Pearce and Beverly Turner, and we are going straight to join the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, who is in Westminster. Chancellor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Big day, but bad day today because the economy shrank last month, 0.3%.
So those were data from April. Monthly GDP is notoriously volatile, so while the numbers are disappointing, perhaps not that surprising, and if you dig into the numbers it shows that trade and production are weak, and I think that reflects the tariffs that came in April. But of course since then we've had 3 trade deals with the United States, with India and with the EU, so obviously disappointing numbers, but they are volatile, and it was a particularly challenging month with so much uncertainty.
Yeah, it was challenging, Chancellor, not least because you raised national insurance and that kicked in for employers in April, the same month. You didn't mention that.
No, but that was known. But what wasn't known was the tariffs. But since then, we have secured those trade deals. And we did have to increase taxes as a government last year at the budget because there was a black hole in the public finances when we entered office last July. We needed to get a grip of the public finances and also have the money to properly fund our public services. And that's why yesterday in the spending review, I was able to put more money into defence to keep our country safe, put more money into our health service to reduce those NHS waiting lists, and also put money into projects to grow the economy in all parts of Britain, with transport better linking our towns and our cities, investment in affordable housing, and also investment in things like nuclear energy to secure our energies in this country.
But quite simply, where people need you to put money is back in their own pockets at the end of the month. British people are losing their jobs in record numbers. We saw a reduction in the number of people on a pay-as-you-earn system last month go down by record numbers, more than since the pandemic. There is genuine fear out there that people can't afford to live and that businesses, small businesses, are closing at a rapid rate. What reassurance can you give people that they're going to feel that they can afford to meet even basic costs?
Well, I recognise that things are still tough for many people, but in the first 10 months of this Labour government, wages have increased by more than they did in the first 10 years of the previous Conservative government. That's real wages after inflation. But I do recognise that we need to do more to make working people better off. It's why, for example, yesterday we expanded the Warm Homes Plan to insulate more people's homes, to take money off their fuel bills every single year. It is why we are providing free school meals for children whose parents are on universal credit. It's why we are supporting childcare so that more parents can go out to work. But crucially, it's why it was so important to return stability to the economy, which has enabled the Bank of England to cut interest rates 4 times in the last year. And for families with a mortgage or paying rent, that is good news for them after the huge increases in interest rates and in inflation that we saw under the previous government.
Are we still, Chancellor, going to be able to afford an additional 13,000 police officers made up of specials and part-time police officers after your spending review, because the police didn't do as well, perhaps, as the NHS?
Well, police spending power is going to increase by 2.3% a year over the next 3 years of the spending review. That's an increase above inflation. That is the average increase that we put into public services yesterday. The NHS did get 3%, but I think most of your viewers will accept when NHS waiting lists are still at 7.5 million, that's where the Tories took them, that we need to get people the operations, the doctor's appointments, the dentist appointments that they need. But police funding is going up significantly by more than inflation and more than the average they've been receiving under the previous government. So that is a good settlement, but I'm not able to say yes to every request. And you made the point, and rightly so, about people having more money in their pockets. And I set the envelope for public spending at the budget last year. I said that public services now had to live within their means. At the spending review yesterday, I didn't spend a penny more or a penny less than the amount that I set out in the budget and at the spring statement. That is important because you have to get the balance right between tax, spending and borrowing. And if you said yes to every request for more money, you'd end up in the same position that Liz Truss ended up in, which is crashing the economy, sending mortgage rates spiralling and causing the cost of living crisis that's done so much damage. So I think it's a fair settlement for the police, and it is a real terms increase in their funding.
OK, thank you so much. I don't know whether you were watching GB News last night, Chancellor, but Patrick Christys has done a brilliant job of tracking down migrant smuggling gangs. Can you guarantee that you will work with the evidence that GB News has acquired to smash the gangs? Because, frankly, we are making it look quite easy at this end.
Well, I will make sure that the Home Office watch that, because we do need to crack down on those gangs. It's why yesterday we announced £250 million for the Border Security Command to do just that, because we can't just carry on like we have been these last few years. We do need to stop people crossing the channel. Then we need to deport people if they're here illegally. And that's why I was able to reaffirm that we would end the use of asylum hotels during this Parliament. It's right that we get people out of those hotels, and if people have got no right to be here, they should be on the plane back home, because it's not right that British taxpayers are picking up the bill for those hotel stays.
All right, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, I know you've got a busy schedule. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
Rachel
so much.
Reeves, Chancellor of the Exchequer. First time on this programme. Sadly, there was many more questions we wanted to ask her. Particularly, I wanted to ask her, where is she going to put the migrants who are apparently not going to be in our hotels in 2029, which she says will be by the end of the Parliament? Let me just tell you, 2029, there'll have been a general election by then. There'll be a different government in power.
Look,
or not. They may be re-elected.
Yeah.